So the Gamesir G4 Pro was sent to me recently and I had my reservations. I'm not a big fan of Bluetooth controllers with cloud gaming. It adds that extra bit that you don't necessarily want in regards to latency, but knowing full well that this is a unique gamepad that features its own clip and from afar looks pretty well built, I decided let me go ahead, let me get my hands on this, let me test out a new cloud gaming controller, because while the Kishi and Gamesir X2 are excellent controllers that plug directly into your phone, some people might actually prefer the pure feel of a gamepad in their hands. So with that, I decided let's check out the Gamesir G4 Pro with all the major cloud gaming services. Let's test this bad boy out with my Android phone and iPhone, and let's see how it stacks up to the competition. And the first things first here, the controller right away feels good in the hands. It has a similar layout and weight to the Xbox controller. Obviously though, this thing has a built-in clip into the controller. Putting your phone on this thing was extremely easy, and it keeps your phone in place really well, which is good. The joysticks themselves felt very responsive. So did the D-pad. Actually, the D-pad felt a lot better than messing with both the Kishi and X2, which is positive. Now the buttons have this really smooth, clear feel to them, which felt really good. The triggers are analog and responded really well during gameplay. The bumpers do have a quick click response that you'll hear, and what you typically get from these types of gamepads. One thing I really liked was the grips here on the handles of the controller. Guys, I don't know why these grips aren't more prevalent in gaming controllers, but for me they make a huge difference in the comfort and feel department, especially over long gaming sessions. And the weight of the controller is perfectly mixed with the grip and really makes the controller feel well in the hands, but guys, it can get a bit heavy depending on your phone and how you're holding the controller in combination. Now the clip itself fits in and out seamlessly with the controller and has really good range for how you want to play while having the device attached. I mostly gamed laying down on the couch, and honestly it felt really comfortable, so you'll be able to play in most angles, and the grip it has on your phone should be pretty well in place and locked in well, because I did try to shake it violently a few times to drop my phone out of it and it just wouldn't do it, so that's good as well. It does have a few key features here that really do make it stand out and make it a pretty versatile controller. It can be used on the Nintendo Switch. You can apparently change the buttons, though I didn't get time to do this, but you can mess with it to where you can change it to a Nintendo Switch layout if you're more comfortable with that. The battery kind of felt like it lasted forever. I never came close to draining it. Maybe I was just too good at charging it over the course of the 1 month of me testing this, and overall the controller is honestly one of the best that I've gotten to mess with from a third party. But there was one big flaw, and this is kind of a big one for me. I hope that Gamesir does address this, because I really had some issues here. Now I had no issues with the iPhone and the Android phone connecting to those. That was very seamless. But I did struggle to get this working on my computer and an older tablet, plugging them wirelessly. Keep in mind, you can actually plug this controller in with a wire, but wirelessly I had issues. It does require to be up to date on your devices, and there apparently seems to be an app associated that will probably, and I think, help the controller working on older devices that are out of date, but it's a little bit hard to find. I never got to mess with that portion, unfortunately, but it did connect and work right out of the box with both my LG phone and iPhone 11, two phones that are only about over a year old. Now, as for the gameplay and me messing with this controller, the only bad thing is really it's Bluetooth in itself. If I could get this controller to plug directly into the Stadia or Luna servers like you can with a Stadia controller and Luna controller mixed with the built-in clip, it would be perfect. Now, I had no issues playing most of my games. I didn't feel much latency at all, but at the end of the day, it is a Bluetooth controller and you do get that standard latency that comes with it. Granted, guys, you can plug this in directly. Overall, I never really felt much of it, but it won't be better in that department than say an X2 or a Razer Kishi at the end of the day. Overall, I was pretty impressed with this controller. It also comes in cheaper than both the Kishi and X2, and I think this is a better option than the standard clips in my opinion. Personally, I hate clips with a passion. I've bought a few now and they tend to scratch up the controller, or they just don't fit that well, and it just gives me headaches and it never feels right. This right here has it all built in and working seamlessly. This is another great controller by Gamesir, and they are quickly becoming a go-to in my opinion for cloud gaming controllers that are third party. I hope they continue their run here, keep innovating, because the Gamesir G4 Pro does have my recommendation at the end of the day. With that, let me know what you guys think in the comments comments about the Gamesir G4 Pro. Do you guys prefer a pure gamepad like this one to the Kishi or X2, or does this controller pique your interest at all? If you bought one, let me know down below. Report back with your experience, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm Sunny, and like always, I'll catch you guys in the cloud.